Ladies and gentlemen,
Yo.
welcome to another episode of The Sound. I am one of your co-hosts, Jared Seymour,
I'm the other co-host, Kevin Harris.
and we share this show equally, and we're both happy with the sharing the show equally. We do
Yeah.
not want one or the other to be kicked off of the show or think that somebody else is better at the show.
Yeah.
That's an inside joke. I
Yeah.
just did a podcast. You'd have to go watch it. Open Micers, if you're not familiar with those guys, Jason Robbins and Jacob Craig, man. It was a fun time, and Kevin was in the comments, and we were all bantering back and forth, and it was funny. So anyway, yes, this is another episode of The Sound, man. We have a great show lined up for you. Kevin, don't let me ruin this artist name. Just go ahead and say it. Who we got on the show tonight?
Her name is Molly Diago.
Okay, Diago.
And her name is Molly Diagostino. And she is got some new music out now. End of the World is the name of the song. We'll be playing the video tonight. But she has also been a hired gun musician, and she has played with the likes of All American Rejects, Pop Evil, and most recently, she was with Tantric. And she's going to chat about all of those and being a hired gun and moving on to do her solo stuff, how she got into playing guitar. And not only that, but she is a lawyer on top of that. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So while she's been on the road, she got her law degree and she passed the bar in New York. So
that's going to be fun to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to be chatting with her. Yeah, I'd love to have a lawyer on my side all the time.
Well, and the I don't know what type of law she studied or if she specialized anything. Well, I guess you get a blanket law degree and then you specialize after. So, but if she knows anything about entertainment, right, that would be a nice trick up your sleeve, right?
Absolutely. So we will be chatting with her. She'll be joining us here in about 10 minutes after the Grudge Match. But speaking of the Grudge Match,
we're coming off of a hell of a one.
Yes, we are.
A hell of one last.
So the last one saw Awaken the Giant beat Kingdom Collapse. Awaken the Giant moved into the Hall of Fame. You can check out the Hall of Fame on our YouTube page. Click on playlist, click on Hall of Fame. Every band that's ever made the Hall of Fame won 3 times in a row on the Grudge Match. Their video is there. You can check it all out. And so tonight we have 2 new challengers. EraVera, which is a band that we just recently got introduced to, and Carbonstone, which is a band we've known about for a while.
Which Corey's in the comments, I believe.
Yes, Corey is in the comments, and we are going to chat with all of them. Well, we're going to watch all of them, and then
I was going to say, wait, we got more guests?
Holy crap. Hold on. We got more guests. Hold on. Let me figure this out.
Right.
No, so we're going to play both the videos, and you know how it works. So you get both the videos. You play video number 1, video number 2. If you're watching on Facebook, you're going to see a poll pop up, and it is basically vote for video number 1, video number 2. If you're not on Facebook, you can vote on YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, and just put video number 1 or video number 2 in the comments, and then we'll count it there. And at the end of the show, we'll announce a winner. The winner moves on to our next episode, which is yet to be named. So, yeah. We don't have that one. I just locked in another one, but it might be our next show. Who knows? So, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'll try to make something for it before we go.
Oh, before we hit the, we can't go into the Grudge Match yet.
No, we get started right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Sound. Glad you're with us. Hang out. You're watching The Sound.
Every time is like our first time. You know, you figure
right?
At some point we'd have a rhythm and some type of framework. Nope, different every time. We love it.
Google Drive, there's actually a sheet that tells us exactly what time we're supposed to do everything.
Well, it says intro though. It does say that. So I don't know. Anyway, that was the intro and it looks badass. But Kevin, we talked about last time on the show how some of our graphics needed some updating, how they were when they were at a different skill level of our graphic department.
So right? let's show the old one.
Do you have it in there? Oh, okay.
No, yeah, we'll go through both of them.
Yeah.
Now I haven't kind of finalized it yet,
Okay,
But
wait,
the new
don't show it
one,
yet. Don't show it yet, though. Don't show it
all
yet.
right,
So
all right.
what this is for people that might be new tonight, you drop an exclamation point and the word notify right behind it, just like you see there on Facebook comments, and it'll alert you every time we go live. So you won't miss a show. You won't have to worry about that. Kevin made this probably I don't know, a year ago, or I'm terrible with time. Who knows? Nobody
Probably a
knows.
year.
Yeah, when he first made that. And we shit on it last episode because it's
We
pretty
did.
it's pretty terrible. All right, so our graphics department, aka Kevin, decided he was gonna up his game, and this is what we got now. Look at that. Oh, wait, you gotta
Hey.
take the other one down. Do that
There.
again. Do it
All
again.
right, do it again.
There it is. Yeah, so that one looks a lot more interactive, and it looks a lot better, man. And it's got the website on it too. So, but
So we did that, and then
there's
we did this
more.
one. There's more. Wait.
Wait,
There's more.
there's more.
This is the old one.
Yes. And if you don't know what a star party is, that's every night on the episodes here. You can on Facebook, right? We're Facebook heavy if you haven't learned yet, but we do appreciate all the other platforms. You can donate stars to us. Stars equal 1 star is 1 penny. So you can right there on the app, you just buy the stars and you can donate them throughout the show. It'll show in the comments there when you do so. And tonight's a star party. But Kevin, that graphic was great, but it wasn't good enough.
Oh no.
Don't tell me it disappeared, man.
Nope, hold on. I got it. Here it comes.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's a star party.
It is a star party. So every time somebody donates stars, you'll see the star party graphic pop up real quick. So,
Jesus. I hope it's
as
so
long as
bad
I
that-
can remember to do it because we can't see it on the screen here. So I have to glance over at this other screen to see the stars get donated. So yeah.
Well, it would be it's the comment with nothing written on it, right?
Well, if they post a GIF or if they post anything that's not text, we won't see it. So I have to look at that. So
Okay, well, yeah, because we don't want any false star parties, man.
yeah, no false star parties.
All right, let's jump into the first video. Kevin, tell the people how we got in how this hit the radar and who is this?
So Anne and one of our contributors onto our website did a piece on them. And if you can check it out on our blog at thesound228.com, cheap plug. But we did that.
Show.
And she introduced us and sent some music or talked to them, and they sent us the song. And I was like, man, this is really good. And then you came on a little bit later when you had a chance to listen to it, and you're like, I'm really digging this. So they came out with a video, and we just happened to have the opportunity to have 2 new ones tonight. So we have those videos starting. So that's it. Oh, EraVera. It's called it's called
You
My
work in
Curse.
radio.
Shut up. So EraVera, it's called My Curse. It's video number 1 on the Grudge Match. Check it out, and you're watching the sound.
Adding on your disdain for your
chorus, man. That chorus is hitting.
That was
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's killer, man. It's killer.
So that
So
is
go
that is video number 1. And hold on one second. I've got to do something here real quick. Woo! Star party.
who threw that star party? What's the name?
We've got Joey Lisa Dayton threw us 200 stars, and Brandon Folsom threw us 310 stars.
Brandon.
So, yes, thank you very much for starting that star party tonight.
Hey, Kevin, we're adding music to that graphic for the next episode. We'll work on what it is, but it's gonna match the vibe of the video or of the GIF or whatever you call that thing you made.
Oh, we got that. We can just do where's it at? Where's it at? Can we do this one? Starts too slow.
Do it with the. Can you play the thing in the center?
All right. Hold on. Let's see. Nope.
That's definitely wrong. We'll figure it out when it's not live in front of a bunch of people who are here to see music and not us dick around with the visuals there.
All right, let me stop all this shit.
But hey, thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys for the star party. If you want to keep seeing that killer graphic that Kevin made, just keep throwing those things out there. Kevin, I'm queuing up the next video. Why don't you start with the intro of it?
So the next video, of course, video number 2, the Grudge Match. You've heard them before. You've seen them before. They've been on the show before. The band is Carbonstone. They've got their Return show coming up this weekend. I believe it's this weekend. I'm sure they'll let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, because I'm sure they freaking will. But anyways, yeah, and they've got a new song called Scream. We just started playing it on the radio station. Tomorrow night, you will hear a new segment on the radio station at 7:00 called Hanging with Harmony. And Carbonstone will be her first guest. It's about 15 minutes long, and it's some interviews and stuff like that. That'll be tomorrow night. Yes, this weekend, Corey says. So Saturday the 19th. There it is. So this is their new one. It's video number 2 on the Grudge Match. The poll is about to pop up, and you can check it out right now. Here is Scream. It's video number 2. It's the Grudge Match, and you're watching the sound.
Cold stare becomes denial. I know
Wow. Wow. A lot of you kids out there may not know that was a tube television that he broke at the end. That was we had those before flat screens. So you could Google that and learn a little bit more about it if you'd like.
All right. Jared.
Yo. Nice. It's
Yes.
back.
So Crystal sent us 530 stars.
Crystal.
Let's see who else I got here. Josh Provencio sent us 500 stars.
Okay.
Crystal sent us 530 stars.
All right.
Charles Burt sent us 500 stars.
Holy shit, Kevin, your graphic, this is going to be the most stars we've had in a night.
And then Molly, our guest, sent us 200 stars as well.
Molly, oh, she's sitting backstage too. Okay, great. Nick, what's up, man? In the comments, he said he thought it was going to be tough after the first one, but Carbonstone killed it, man. I'm sure the guys in the comments, they're going to love to hear that, man. That's awesome. So y'all keep voting. The poll is up on Facebook. Keep dropping the votes in there. And if you're on all the other platforms, you know, drop it in the comments and we'll see it. It all comes right here to our feed. So, Kevin, let's not waste any more time. Molly's sitting here patiently waiting.
50 stars too.
I've never heard of him.
Dustin. All right. Yes, let's bring Molly in. I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Let's go. Molly.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you?
We're great. Thanks for throwing us some stars there for the star party. We appreciate
Heck
that.
Yeah. Although I guess I'm cheap. I only did 200. That's the first time I ever sent stars. So they just give me some arbitrary number.
Yeah, that's fine. That's worth more than 10,000 stars because now you're part of the star community.
I love it. I'm honored.
Yeah. So we're gonna break it down real quick. So Molly, where do we start? Do we start at the beginning? Do we start where you're at now and go to the beginning, or let's you know what? Let's start at the beginning.
Good idea.
So, Molly. So Molly is a guitarist and a very good guitarist, a very awesome guitarist. So let's start with, how did you get into guitar?
Well, I went to actually a Trans-Siberian Orchestra concert when I was a kid. Like, I think my dad, like his office party or whatever was going, and it was back when a time like when nobody knew what Trans-Siberian Orchestra was. I remember like going to that show, and if you do know, it's like a hard rock Christmas thing. But like there was old ladies in ball gowns there, like people didn't know what to expect. So like, I guess, the office party, it was at the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, night at the orchestra, and it was anything but, like a symphony. And I just fell in love with it. So, I asked for a guitar, I think for that next birthday, and I got it and then just couldn't put it down. And I'm still playing it today, many years later.
That's that. So I've seen TSO 3 times. But I probably didn't see TSO until they became a little more mainstream, I guess.
Sure.
And the cool thing about TSO is they actually have 2 versions of TSO. When they do their big Christmas tours, there's a tour that goes north and east, or north and west, and then there's a tour that goes south and east with all different musicians and everything, but it's the same exact show. So it's really cool how they cover the entire United States throughout the holiday season. So after that, you move on and you start getting into what we'd like to say in the biz, a hired gun.
Yeah.
So how to explain it?
There's a lot of jumps.
Like I said, I've watched we had the pleasure of chatting when Jared was off fiddling around, doing whatever he was doing earlier. So I've had the pleasure of watching a documentary, and I can't remember honestly if it was Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, or whatever it was, but it was a documentary strictly on hired guns. And it had to do a lot. Alice Cooper was on there talking about everybody that he's hired and what he goes into looking for, how to hire and all that kind of stuff. So explain the hired gun type of thing. So for the people who don't realize what hired guns are.
Sure. So hired guns are basically like the subs, but it's even becoming more than that now, I think. A lot of what I was doing was like, okay, someone was sick, so I was going in, there was an issue, like some sort of emergency, and they needed someone to fill the spot. And so of course you're auditioning ahead of time. So they have a roster to pull from, and it's like, okay, who's available, who's good enough to do it, who can learn the music and so on and so forth. So as a guitar player, my first like gig ever was with basically a garage band when I was a kid, and we got a record deal, which was really exciting. And that sort of gave me I was a guitar player of that band, so like I was really working on myself and my playing. And then I was introduced to a couple of cool people. Speaking of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, one of them was the guitar player for TSO East, which is Chris Caffrey. And he worked with me a lot on just different skills about being a versatile guitar player, so that if opportunities came up, to play with other bands and sort of grow and expand, I was ready. So that's sort of how it happened. And then, you meet friends and friends need help. And it's just like, for me, it was like a word of mouth thing. And, if someone needed me or whatever, that's how it worked out. So I got a manager. And then once you get a manager, sort of gigs can kind of float your way in and out all the time. It just depends on, whether you're able to do it and whether you're good enough to do it. And sometimes that's yes, sometimes that's no.
Gotcha. So run down some of the bands that you have played with.
I've played, it's a bunch of different random bands from different genres, pop, country, rock, but rock is definitely my favorite. I think the most recent, and actually probably the last one I did, was Tantric, who I know that you guys are friends of. And a lot of these things are like very short, gigs a week here and there. Cause my nature was, I was sort of a sub, and that's all I could do because I had a lot going on in my own life. So, but with the bands that I've played, I got a chance, to really work with awesome bands, whether it be Tantric, All American Rejects, Frankie Ballard, all different kinds of cool stuff. So, but the most interesting, I think, and the most sort of crazy of an experience I had was definitely Tantric for sure. And like I said earlier, like also the hired gun is sort of evolving. Like a lot of musicians are going out solo, like me being one of them. And so it's funny in my role now as a singer, being the one hiring the hired guns, like it's a 360, I guess, full circle type of thing. But I can definitely appreciate, all the hard work that sort of goes into that life, and it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you started out talking hired gun too, I was thinking more like studio musician, but this is like live touring too.
This is live. Yeah. And
So,
the studio musicians they are like next level. Like those are the best of the best. And a lot of those guys, I think, showed up in that doc too. But like those guys are sick, and they're so good at what they do that they don't need to tour. But then there's the rest of us like me. So no, I would love that job, but no, I'm just not there yet. But yeah, it was really exciting, and I got to do some tours and see some cool places and meet cool people. So that's sort of how I got to where I am now. It's all, and also when you're out there, you're networking, constantly networking until you meet the right crew to get you in a spot where you want to be. And eventually I transitioned out of the guitarist, I guess, role, because it's such a chaotic life relying on everybody else. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I wanted to be the boss and sort of make my own decisions and make my life, I guess, a little more normal, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, though, to be the hired gun live though is a different dynamic, I would assume too, right? You have to vibe with the members, I would assume, a little bit, and then also the performance part, as far as how you look and act on stage, which is not maybe as important in the studio, right? You have to interact with the fans. You have to represent the music, not only through the guitar, but through your interaction with the crowd. You're not just going to stand there and or sit off to the side. You have to bring the party, right? So there is that.
Sure. And it's scary because you're trying to remember what you're playing at the same time. So it's stressful in a way, but once you get with a crew, I think that you like, and that, they like you, you have to, I guess, trust in yourself and have confidence to be able to really vibe with everybody without freaking out like, oh my God, where am I right now? You know what I'm saying? So It's just, it's a delicate balance of, anxiety medication and focus.
What's the stint like when you're hired? I'm sure it varies, but like, is it for one night? Is it for a
It
tour? A
it just
leg?
depends. I mean, everybody's gig is different. You know, sometimes it's a tour, sometimes it's a weekend. It's just whatever is needed, really. So that's the part that was like stressful, I guess, being a guitar player, because like if you're always relying on somebody else's schedule or somebody else's mishap or whatever to like sort of come into action. So some people love that stuff, and I think maybe when I was young that was exciting, but now I'm like I'm over it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So while you were doing all of that, you had time to get a law degree as well.
Oh yeah, that was the worst part of all of it, honestly.
So
um
yeah,
so
tell it, how hard was that?
it was awful. It was the worst thing I've ever done. I'm happy I did it, but man, it was terrible. So I had an audition for a really, really large band. This is just before law school, and this is a band that it would have given me stability. I would have been a permanent member, and it would have been like just life changing type of thing. And I went into that because even playing guitar, like I guess before, like making money as a guitarist, like you're living like from week to week, it's tough to do it. And of course I have, my mom was always in my face, you can't do this for a living, you can't do it, you can't do it. And although some people can, and I probably could have, like, of course, having your mom in your, and I was young too, I was like 21 or 22 at the time.
Right.
And she was very not optimistic about my career choices. So she was really pushing. I had a lot of pressure. I had applied and got into law schools just for fun, And so what happened is I told myself, if I get the gig, I don't have to do it. I'm going to be free. I don't have to do it. I'm going to do this for a career. It's going to be great. And as you can tell, I didn't get it. So like a month later, I packed up all my stuff and my little like Mustang, and I moved across the country to do law school. And luckily, because my story was kind of cool, that I was doing these touring gigs, the schools were really flexible with me, so I could still travel and work while I was, pursuing my law degree. So it was the worst experience of my life, but I'm happy it's over.
There you go.
Was it any? Are you specializing in any specific law, or is it just a general law degree?
Yeah, so I specialize in basically IP, which is a lot of what goes into entertainment law, of course, and which comes in handy in this industry because, nobody can kind of undercut me with this because I already know, I already know the rules. I know what you're getting at. And the backside of that is all my musician friends, I get calls every single day. Hey, I need help. I need this. I need that, but I'm happy to help. But I mean, it's probably a rare situation, to sort of have a lawyer in the musician community that's actually on the side of the musician, that's truly 100% for the musician. So I'm happy where I can help where I can.
It sounds like a business opportunity to me. It sounds like a business
totally
opportunity.
Right.
No, I mean, is like you could create your own, company, and all the artists are going to want to work with you over anybody else because you know both sides.
Absolutely. And so what's funny about that is once people started realizing my deal, because I made a lot of, higher up friends when I was doing the guitar stuff. But once I had that like ESQ behind my name, all of a sudden those friends got, exponentially more interested in what I was doing and how I could be an asset. And what's funny, like as an artist, especially for me with my first real release on my own, like if you don't want to go the traditional route of getting a label, which because I'm an attorney, I didn't want that route because it's terrible for a lot of reasons. Not all of it's terrible, but a lot of it. You have to build a team yourself, right? And the whole reason behind building a team yourself is so that if this works out, like you don't have to share your profits with anybody, right?
Right.
Because your work is your work. So the lawyer thing came in handy because I was able to barter for a lot of things, which was really, awesome and unexpected. So I think that's the biggest benefit of being the attorney is I'm able to make moves in music that I probably wouldn't have been able to just because of the skills that I have. And I've become useful to people, beyond just the music, I guess,
Well, Kevin and I talk about that all the time on the show. I'm glad to see that you were able to realize that you needed, to go to school and get a trade and do what you did, even though I'm sure it was hard to walk away, not completely, it sounds like, but to the degree that you did from playing, touring or whatever. and then now it's paying off in the end, right? I can
Yeah.
kind of relate
I
to that.
mean, at the time, like when I didn't get, and that audition was like, it was a lot. Like there was 50 of us. I wish I could say who it was for, but I can't. There was literally 50 musicians, and it was for guitar. Then like 45 of them were from like Berkeley and, all these really fancy fluty tooty sort of music programs. And I made the callback, which was just 5 of us. So like I was so excited. I'm like, this is it.
Wow.
Everything's gonna be fine. And then it wasn't. And I remember the day, like, we were in New York City and they kept us there, every callback, it shrunk. And like I said, I made it to the final 5 and then I got cut. So I just remember going home. I thought my life was over. I'm like, this is it. I lost. I'm, sort of resolving to being an attorney. Not that that's a bad thing, but, it felt like everything I wanted was, ruined in that moment because I was going to make this another career. But what I didn't know at the time was that being an attorney, it allows me to have a music career in a way that I couldn't have imagined then, so I'm fortunate that I did it. And, my mom, I always give her crap about, that, but it worked out, in a really good way. And it's an odd situation when your fallback is an attorney, so I'm okay. I'll be okay,
Yeah, I did the same thing with anesthesia school, like left music and went and did that. And then now
So you get it.
well, I'm a lot. Yeah, now I can do stuff like this and not have to, live worried about where your next paycheck's coming from. So
Absolutely.
cool.
Security is everything. And I wish the biggest thing that, and I'm actually working with a brand new management company now, as an attorney, our biggest goal is to take musicians that are established and, have a name for themselves and teach them the skills that they didn't learn. Like I have a lot of friends who had really huge Billboard #1 hits that everybody knows from like the 2000s. And now they're living destitute because when they were kids and got that record deal, the record company doesn't teach you how to balance a checkbook. The record company doesn't teach you how to pay your rent and how to organize and how to save. They don't have retirements. They have nothing. So one thing I want to do with my life, on the back scene is try to help musicians know that it's okay to have a backup. You can still do music, but as as an anesthesiologist, like it's good to be able to pay your bills if music isn't doing it for this week or that week,
Yeah, and you mentioned too that record deal is not all of it. That money is just yours. That's a loan, and you pay it back. For people
100%.
watching, go check out Jelly Roll. He did an interview on Bussin' with the Boys. Look that up, and he breaks it down to a degree that I had never even heard. You don't just pay. You make $1, they get 70 or 80, and you get 20, and that goes to your tab. That doesn't even go. Like it's unbelievable some of the deals that these people have signed where they don't even own their name, the band or the independent artist or whatever. It is bad. So
and that's awful.
Yeah, you said it though, Kevin. How many times have we talked about it on the show with being nowadays the technology that's available? Yes, you have to have some capital because things cost, but building the team yourself and owning your own music and doing it now through the digital means that we all have with our cell phones is the way to go. And record labels, I think, are even looking at that now and wanting your social following to be at a certain level before they even want to entertain anything. But it gives you the leverage.
Oh, you're 100% right. And that's the like, I think the helpful thing, about my sort of backup career path is I was able to put away money to be able to do this myself. Because honestly, when you're starting from scratch, and then granted, I had a following, which I'm super thankful for from guitar, but really launching a solo career, that's a whole nother level. Like you really got to kick yourself up. So of course, a record label has this built-in team and everything's great, but that's exactly what you said. Do you want to give up that money if it goes well? And I didn't. I'm like, you know what? I'd rather go all out now. Do this the right way for myself because there's label services company that you can hire there. It's literally a label, but you pay them to do the same services. And even if you look at some of the charts, like especially Foundations, half the bands on there are not on major labels, which I think is phenomenal,
Yep.
They're getting good representation. They're getting good radio guys. And that's all you need. You can do it. You put your stuff out there and if people love it, they're going to love you. And, you can do this. You could do it. It's so important to know that. And I hope musicians out there are listening because like, I used to get so disappointed with all the no's that I got originally, like being turned down with my first band. It was really disappointing. But now I'm like, who cares? I can do this. I don't need them. And it's so important to know that,
Listen up, people.
Exactly.
Kevin, what do you think?
I was just actually looking up something real quick. No, and that's the best part about talking to somebody like Molly, who's done so much already on all sides of it. I guess my question is we just have a little rinky dink podcast here, but can we put you on retainer?
Heck yeah, I got
right?
you. I got you guys.
We may have to call
And
you. up.
But I
think-
want to get into your solo stuff and some of the duets you've done, but I do want to get into the video first, play the video, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about it. So we're going to roll into the video now.
Well, can we get her to do the tell us everything or tell us nothing on the song?
Sure.
That's kind of a thing that we do here before we play the video. You can tell us everything as far as lyrics or about the video, or keep it vague. It's however you get down.
Sure. Well, telling you everything, we'd be here all night. So I'll keep it. I'll keep it vague. I mean, this song for me and the video you're gonna watch. Which, by the way, the actress of this video is watching us right now. So shout out to her, Sophia. She's so cute. I hope you all love her. Nice. This video is, to me, it's really about just believing in yourself and going to the end of the world for the person you love, whether it's yourself or somebody else. So take that as you will, I guess.
I love it. That's perfect. What a perfect intro. All right, Kevin, kick it in gear like I know only you can.
All right, here it is. It is Molly Diago. The song is called End of the World. Check it out, and you're watching the sound.
Is there any remedy for a broken heart that still bleeds? Show me how to sew it all up. Feeling like there's nothing left. Blend to any cause and effect. You don't see the skin that you cut.
Wow. Molly, what a great song. What a great video. The comment section is definitely agreeing with you. Like you said, if you put it out there, people are going to let you know if they love it. And I think that's what we're seeing here.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, playing this and supporting it. It helps folks like us, back to that whole independent but non-independent thing. Like shows like this really support us. And I can't say enough about what you guys are doing and giving the airtime to, folks like me and in those two amazing bands that I heard right before I came on. It's fantastic what y'all are doing.
We love it. It is our pleasure. This is Kevin and I's happy place. We love music. Been in bands forever. Kevin's been in radio. When they invented it, he was there and worked in it pretty much all the way up until now. So this is just fun for us. So we love it. The music's killer. Anybody out there watching, man, Molly, we're noticing like a really big uptick in the viewers too. So like, very noticeable, by the way. So if it's your first time here on The Sound, man, thanks for joining us and thanks for watching. You can notice up top we have a free radio app. You can hear that song and the other songs we played tonight and lots more. Download the app. It's on the App Store and Google Play. It's free. Check it out. So follow us here on Facebook. We're on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, the whole nine. So yeah, the feedback is definitely coming through. Kevin, I'll hit these comments.
But before you hit the comments,
sorry, I didn't hit any comments.
Okay. I gotta do it right.
Yeah.
So,
Star party.
Let's see. Dustin kind of threw it back at you because you didn't remember who he was. He thought maybe you would remember when he threw 2,000 stars. So,
okay, yeah, definitely remember Dustin. I remember Dustin. Yes, I do remember
Dustin. Dustin threw 2,000 stars. Michelle Craig, Harmony threw 300 stars. So thank you guys very much for throwing the stars.
Thank you, Michelle. And I sent you an email, Michelle, on the invite thing for the StreamYard. You know what that means. So
there we go. So let's get into the music a little bit. So I hope I'm remembering how I read this in the timeline and all that. So when you started getting into wanting to do some of your own stuff, you kind of did a couple duets right off the bat. Am I correct?
Yeah. So, they were something else. So my last real like serious hired gun thing was tantric, and actually that whole relationship did not end well for a lot of reasons, and there's a lot of drama, which is fun now looking back on it years later. Was not fun at the time, but anyway, out of that drama came something really good. I wrote a song with Hugo, who's the lead singer of Tantric and a good friend of mine now. We're great friends now, called Lifetime. And at the time, he was super busy putting out another record. So I had to sort of, we ended up picking another singer to do the duet with me, Waylon Revis, who, by the way, like he and his wife, Julie, I don't know, sometimes they come in and listen to these, but they are like literally the best people in the world. At the time, they were actually...
Molly, hold on one second. Jared, for those that aren't paying attention, Waylon Revis is the lead singer of Mushroom Head.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was going through the comments. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Waylon is he was the lead singer for Mushroom Head and his own band at Killer's Confession, which everybody needs to check out because they're the next big thing for real.
They are badass, man.
They're amazing.
Some good stuff.
And I think the last tour I did before COVID was with them, which is awesome. We had a blast. Waylon stepped up in the best way ever and did the song with me, which I was like so thrilled. Really great people, and they're my best friends to this day because of that. After that, I think maybe a year and a half later or so, it was like COVID and things were crazy. And like I said, Hugo is still my friend. He'll always be my friend in some regard. It was kind of a weird time. It was like April of 2020, everything was just so weird. And so we were in like two different parts of the country, and we, had this song that, I don't know, it was kind of like, it was about just craziness, but a really sad ballad. So we decided to track it and put it out in the name of COVID and, all that stuff. So that was the second duet that I did. And then a couple years went by as I was working on the solo material. And now this song you just heard is my first release, like on my own, like with no friends, no buddies with me. I had to rip the Band-Aid off and just go. So yeah.
Nice.
that's putting it out there, right? So how does that feel? I mean, has it been nerve-wracking? You mentioned anxiety medicine. Is how's it been working? You know, how does that feel? And what's been the response?
It was, I mean, leading up to it was rough. And then even the day it came out, like my manager, I think Sarah, you know, is a friend of y'all's. She probably wanted to kill me because I was so nasty and just terrible, because like I had put so many years of my life into this one song. And granted, I have a whole record that's coming out too later in the year, but this song to me was really my first song. Like the duets are great and everything, but as a guitar player, it's hard to put down the guitar that you're hiding behind, right? And there's your voice, and that's just you. It's really hard to do that. So I think that's why, you know, my subconscious was all into those duets, because I didn't want to do it by myself because I didn't have confidence, and you know, it's tough. It's tough to go out behind the guitar. So to do it on my own, I was super stressed. It was a lot going on, but thankfully I have a really good team and the song is doing really well. So, you know, it worked out and I'm super stoked about it. And I have great people that, you know, have helped out along the way. So it worked. It's either that or, it's either that or the medication, but you know, it's all good.
Yeah.
Number 4 on the greatest gainers on the Foundations chart this week. So
yeah, that was exciting. Beating Ted Nugent, which is fun. So yeah, like I said, we have a lot of great people and a lot of support from folks. And like I said, all of that is without a label. So once again, musicians, if you're listening, you don't need the label.
Nope. Or they better write a sweet ass deal. Again, to refer back to Jelly Roll. If y'all aren't familiar who that artist is, go look him up. He said that he's been independent this whole time, and he says he will sign a deal at some point, but it'll be the deal he dictates and that he wants. So it's you know, the deal isn't the whole deal. Write that down, right? It's got to be the right deal. So anyway, the comments are blowing up. Thank y'all, everybody, for chiming in. Kevin, you mentioned earlier if they had a question to ask it. I don't think I saw any.
No, I didn't see any in there.
Okay, I didn't want to make sure I didn't miss it.
You know, when the comments are scrolling through that fast, they may have missed it. But if you have a question for Molly, we got a few more minutes. You throw them into the comments, and hopefully she'll be able to answer it for you.
Shout out to some of the people though. Draco, I hope I'm saying that right. And Michael, Dustin, Lindsay, Dustin again, Jimmy. Good to see you in the comments, my man. Let me go back a little further. Yeah, John. Michelle and Corey. So yeah, a lot of comments coming in. I know, Kevin, I think you're about to ask a question, but one thing I was going to ask is what about the live stuff now that hopefully COVID's kind of, you know, out of the way as far as restrictions are concerned, most places. Have you done some live? Are you doing some live? And what are the plans?
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have a full summer of excitement. And, you know, I casted my hired gun band and they're all great. We have a couple festivals this summer, which I'm super excited. I think one announced so far, Fox Fest in Syracuse, New York, which is exciting because that's where I'm from. And then we have some dates, I think August and into the fall. I'm waiting just a little bit because there is literally so much expense and everything that goes into these single releases. I wanted to get them out and into people's ears so that then, hey, when they see my name come up, you know, on social media or an event flyer, that they'll actually come and hang out with us and hopefully enjoy the show. So
love it.
Well, I can say this, and I tell everybody that comes onto the show with us, you have a home in Biloxi, Mississippi. Whenever you want to come down there and play a show, we got you. We'll find a place. We'll put one together. If we have to rent a place to put the show on, we'll do that too. So
yeah,
I love it.
Not like we haven't done it before. So
I love it. It was I was just in New Orleans like 2 days ago, and it's so funny. I had an Uber driver while I was there, and he says that like what he does for fun is go to Biloxi and how awesome it is. So now like I feel like I have to come.
Yes. Absolutely. They got the casinos. So
he was all about the casino, and like I guess it's close to the beaches or something that were really good. So I'm like, yep, I'm down for that.
Highway 90 in Biloxi the Mississippi Gulf Coast has the largest man-made beach in the world. 26
That's right up my alley. That's my style.
26 miles. So and the casinos are right there on the beach, and it's a good time.
The food, the culture, the people, you'd love it. It's great.
I'll have to come down. I'd love to.
Molly, thank you for taking your time out of your night to jump on here with these two knuckleheads, myself and Kevin, and
Sure.
chat music and share some truth bombs. I hope any up and coming artists or bands, I hope you've been taking notes because there were some valuable little tidbits in the chat tonight.
For
That
sure.
there
Thank you
was.
guys so much for doing what you do. We appreciate it.
No,
Absolutely.
we thank you. And anytime you want to come on the show, just let us know. You got a home here too.
Yep.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for spinning the song and the video and all that stuff. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Where are we sending the people? Facebook? Are you most active there? Is that where they need to go?
Yeah, Facebook
Okay.
is at, but I think we're everywhere,
Okay.
everywhere we've got to be. So, but yeah, come say hi on my Facebook or whatever, and I'll say hi back.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you,
great.
y'all.
All right.
Thank you. Have a
Bye-bye.
good night.
Peace.
Bye.
Kevin,
She's awesome.
that was awesome, man. I'm digging it. What a great conversation. That one felt really good, natural, and she knows exactly what she's talking about. Somebody who is doing it for real and then realized that she needed to step away for a little while, handle her business, come back swinging with, like she mentioned, a lot of education and a skill set now outside of just the guitar that is going to pay dividends for her solo career or whatever she chooses to do, whether it be, law or music or a combination of both. I'm hearing a business for her. I'm hearing her like go and
Right?
be the music attorney that you can trust because she is also an artist at the same time. So
Yeah,
John.
absolutely. Hey, John, I agree with you 100%.
Yes.
You definitely don't want to see us on here. We want more Molly, but we're getting ready to wrap up the show.
I agree.
We're going to try to do another show before Fayard Fest, which is a week and a half from now. I don't know if we'll be able to get another show knocked in before then. But anybody who hasn't heard about Fayard Fest, there it is right there. Well, that's the old poster, but I didn't put the new one up there yet. Waken the Giant has been added to that. Lunatype, 7-Year Witch, Bourbon House, Silent Trust, Joshua Sun, Acadia, Party at the Moon Tower, Jared's Band Falls from Grace, and Boys to Ben, the Ultimate Breaking Benjamin Tribute Band. And it's going to be happening a week and a half, March 26th. At the Juke Joint in Ocean Springs. It's going to be a big party. We're raising money for Music Cares in the honor of Chris Fayard, who passed away back in January. So it is his memorial show.
Yes.
So please come on out. $10 is all it is. And
It's
tons of raffles, silent auctions. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a damn good time. It's going to be a party and all for a good cause. It's going to be a real good night. Everybody, if you're new to the show tonight, if you're tuning in for the first time, thank you, man. Me and Kevin and I appreciate it. Kevin, look at the graphics, dude. You're killing it with the graphics. I can't believe it. Like, share, and you're already commenting. So, Kevin, we might need to just we'll keep it on there. But damn, y'all are smashing the comments. That's our favorite part, by the way, because it's the most interactive part. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Smash the share buttons, like it said. And if y'all keep coming back and watching, man, we'll keep doing these shows because we really are having a great time. Kevin, tell them we got to download the app if you don't have it. Check out the sound228.com. We have a lot of new reviews on new singles that have came out from bands that you may have heard of or need to hear about right there, the sound228.com. Kevin, is all that under the news tab now? Did you change it or is it still the blog?
The new everything but news is under the blog.
Okay.
The
news reviews and all are under the blog.
Music news and stuff like that as we're getting it and as we're stealing it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the blog has concert reviews, 11 questions with whoever. Like to this week was 11 questions with Planet Gears.
Yeah.
Then you've got single reviews, you've got album reviews, you got video reviews. Oh yes. Yeah, I did remember our next show. It's March 28th, or at least it may just be me March 28th, depending on Jaden's baseball game.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to do the video premiere for the new Rise to Phoenix video.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing that on March 28th. But while all of that happened and we were having discussions about tantric and everything, this happened tonight. April 13th, our guest will be Tantric.
What a coincidence.
Wow. That worked out tonight. So Tantric will be joining us April 13th right here on the sound. So we'll be able to quit pushing buttons.
I'm
So
sorry. I thought you were talking. I thought I was helping.
We'll get our chance to sit down and chat with the guys from Tantric who are touring constantly and putting out some new music at the same time. So on that note, I guess it's time to reveal our grudge match winner.
We need a grudge match winner graphic. We need to go all graphics, man. We got to up us graphic it out.
All right. I'll work on that.
Well, you're good at it now.
Our grudge match winner tonight. Wait, you're playing. Oh, I guess Carbonstone's playing with Tantric in May.
Okay.
So that's cool. Very cool. Your winner tonight for the grudge match was Carbonstone with 79% of the votes.
There you go. There you go.
So Carbonstone will move on to March 28th, and they will be taking on Transient and their latest No Light. So Transient versus Carbonstone on the next one.
That's another good battle, Kevin. I'm not even gonna say anything as far as you just keep picking them like that because that's legit.
Oh, we're just I've already got a list just going and going. So we're working on it. So
all right.
But yeah, so everybody, thank you for tuning in. Like we said, if you liked what you heard, definitely come back and join us on our next episode. Like the Facebook page, like Twitter, like YouTube, subscribe to YouTube, like us on Instagram. It's all simple. At the Sound 228.
Yeah, and we're on all the podcast platforms as well if you want to listen while you drive. So the audio will be ripped and put on there as well.
Absolutely. So you guys have a good night, and we will talk to you on the 28th. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Peace.
Good night.